my name is Frankie and I'm going to be taking you for a chair-based exercise class today. So to start off with, we're going to get ourselves in the right position in the chair. So at the moment, we're probably sitting back nice and comfortably, but we need to get into our working position. So to get there, you need to have your feet below your knees. So if they're far forward, slide them back, and if they're back here, slide them forward so that they're underneath your knees. At the moment, you're probably leaning back on the back of your chair. So I want you sitting forward, nice and tall. So you're not using the back of the chest for support, which means you're going to have to use the muscles in your tummy to keep yourself nice and upright. Push your shoulders back and lift your chest, and imagine you've got a piece of string on your head and you're pulling it up so you're sitting nice and tall. From here, we're going to wiggle ourselves forward so you're coming to the front of your chair, as far forward as you feel comfortable. When you get here, we're going to just recheck the posture. So make sure that the feet are below the knees still, and that we're still sitting up nice and tall. So using that string to pull you up, sitting tall. We're going to get that body nice and warm to start with so that it's ready to work. All right, so we're going to start pretty simple with just some toe taps. So you're keeping your heels on the floor, lifting the toes up and down, nice and steady. So it's up to you how fast you go. You can stay with me for the speed, or you can go a little bit faster, or you can go slower. It's up to you. So just keep it going for me, nice and steady, lifting those toes up off the ground as high as you can. And next we're going to do some heel taps in 3, 2, 1. So leave your toes on the floor and lift your heels up. So similar movement to what we were just doing, but it's slightly different on the ankle. And again, you're going as fast as you like, staying with me if you want to, or going faster or going slower. And lifting them up as high as you can. And 3, 2, 1, we're going to go back to those toe taps again, lifting those toes up, tapping them on the floor. So we're going to take it up a level. We're going to do some leg marching. So we're going to be lifting the whole foot off the floor in 3, 2, 1. So I want you to start lifting your legs off the floor, your feet off the floor, lifting your legs up. That's it, hinging at your hip. So when we're lifting, you lift the heel first and then your toe. And when you put your foot back down on the floor, you put your toe first and roll through your foot to putting your heel down. And just like the toe taps and heel taps, you go as fast as you like. So you can stay with me, you can go a bit faster, or you can go a bit slower. It's up to you. Nice and steady. After this one, we're going to be going to an arm swing in 3, 2, 1. Stop the legs, and I want you to start using those arms. So you're swinging them from side to side. The most important part of this movement is the backwards motion. So make sure you're swinging your elbows back as far as you can. You should feel those shoulders start to work, start to get a little bit warmer. Keeping it going, driving the elbows back. Your speed, it's up to you how fast you go. As long as you can feel yourself working, it's all right. So keep it going for 3, 2, 1, and back to that leg march. Let's just check that posture while we're doing it. So make sure that we're still sitting up nice and tall. As you're putting those feet down, they're underneath the knees and you're rolling through the foot just like before. We're a little bit warmer now, so if you want to, you can start going a bit faster with those legs, or you can just lift them a little bit higher. All right, keep yourselves working. We're going to go to a tap and a clap in 3, 2, 1. Stop your legs and tap on your legs and clap up here. So we tap and clap, tap and clap. Nice and steady. You can stay with me for the speed. You can go faster or you can go slower. If it hurts to lift your arms up so high, just keep the clap a little bit lower. But if you can, try and lift it right up in front of your face. So we're warming up the shoulders as well as getting that coordination going as well. Keep it going nice and steady. After this, we're going to go back to the leg march in 3, 2, 1. Relax your arms. Back to that leg march for me. And again, let's see if we can go a little bit faster now. We're nice and warm. So we'll be able to work those legs a little bit more. Lifting them a bit higher if you can. Still rolling through the foot and still sitting up nice and tall. Going back to the arm march in 3, 2, 1. Arm swings again for me. Driving the elbow back as far as you can, all right? You're bringing the hand in front of you as well, but the most important bit is how far you get that elbow behind you. Keeping it going again like the leg march. You might be able to go a little bit faster now. You might be able to go a little bit further as those shoulders warm up. You might be able to get a bit more out of them. We're going to do the leg march for the final time in 3, 2, 1. And let's go with those legs nice and steady. This is the final time. Final little bit of our warm up. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit warmer. That heart's going a little bit higher than it was before. And you're feeling ready to do some strength exercises. In 3, 2, 1. Rest there. Work your way back into the chair and relax. So the next part of our workout we're going to do is some mobility exercises. So this is going to be about loosening up your joints and getting them ready to load up in the strength section. But we need to get them mobilized first. So we're going to go back to that working position. So I want us to have our feet underneath our knees and sitting up tall away from the back of the chair, and walk your feet forward, shuffling your bum as well, coming to the front of your chair. Feet flat on the floor still, underneath your knees, and still sitting up nice and tall. So we're going to start with our shoulder lifts and circles. Let's do the lifts first. So just watch me for the first one. I'm going to sit tall and I lift my shoulders up towards my ears, hold it there for a few seconds, and then lower it back down. So let's do it all together now in 3, 2, 1. Lift your shoulders towards your ears, hold it here, and release. Lovely. We're going to do it 4 times. So let's go for number 2. Lift it up and lower it down. Make sure we're still sitting up nice and tall. Number 3, lift your shoulders up and lower them down. It's 1 more time now. So let's lift towards our ears and drop them back down. Lovely. So still sitting up nice and tall. The next move we're going to do is shoulder circles. So watch me for the first one. I roll my shoulders forward, lift them up to my ears, and then roll them back behind me and down. So you're going to do a full circle. If this feels like it's a little bit too much for your shoulders, just carry on with the shoulder lifts and lowers. All right, so let's go all together now in 3, 2, 1. Lift your shoulders forward, up and round. Lovely. Let's go straight into number 2. Up and round, pushing it right back behind you. Chest goes forward. Number 3, lifting it up to your ears and pushing it back around. 1 more time, lifting it up, back and round. Lovely. And rest it there. So next we're going to do our ankle activators. So what we're going to be doing is you're going to lift your foot up off the ground and put your toes on a point on the carpet. Then you're going to lift your foot back up and put your heel in the exact same spot. Okay? And then we keep doing that on one side and then we do the other. So when you're ready, we're going to do it all together in 3, 2, 1. Lift up your foot and put your toes down on a point on the floor. Now lift up the whole foot again and put your heel in the exact same spot. Make sure we're still sitting up tall. It's always tempting to lean forward and have a look, but try and sit up tall. So toes down for me, pointing your toes, heel is up, and then lift your foot up and put the heel in the same spot. And let's do it again. Toes on that spot for me, and heel on the same spot. Let's do it 1 more time on this side, lifting the toes and putting them down, and then lifting the heel and putting it down. And put that foot flat on the floor and let it rest. And let's do exactly the same on the other side. So let's go all together in 3, 2, 1. Lift up your foot and put your toes on the floor. And then lift up your foot again and put your heel on the floor. And toes to the floor. And heel to the floor. Make sure we're still sitting up tall. Always checking that posture. Toes to the floor. And heel to the floor. Let's do it one more time on this side. Toes to the floor and heel to the floor. And rest that foot flat on the floor. Lovely. So now we're going to get our trunk here. So we're going to do side bends. So what I want us to do is have our hands either side of your chair for me. So if you've got legs like this, that's perfect. If not, you're just going to have to use something a little bit similar. So watch me for the first one. I'm going to lean to one side and run my hand down the leg of my chair. Go as far as you feel comfortable before coming back up. Okay? And then we do it on the other side. So let's go all together in 3, 2, 1. Lower your hand down the side of your chair. So you should feel a nice stretch in the side of your body. And coming back up for me. And let's go on the other side. So leaning down. Make sure you're keeping both bum cheeks on that seat. And that way you're not going to go anywhere. Lift it back up for me. And again, leaning down. So this move is good for if you've got something down the side of your sofa and you need to lean and get it. And back up for me. And on the other side, leaning down. Every time you do it, see if you can get a little bit further. Coming back up. And again for me, lean and hold and back up. Make sure that posture's still good. We're sitting up tall. Lean to the other side and coming back up. Let's do it one more time on each side. So let's go the first way and back up and lean to the other side and back up and rest those arms onto your legs. Lovely. All right, so we've got one more move now, and this is a slightly bigger movement for that trunk. So it's not so much bending, it's a little bit more twisting. Okay, so watch me for the first one. I'm going to take my hand to the back of the chair and hold it there. The other one goes across my body onto the chair, onto the leg, wherever it is that you can reach. And then we're going to turn our heads and look behind us. We're going to do it one side and then the other. We're not going to hold it in that position for too long, just for a few seconds before going to the other side. So feet underneath your knees, sitting up nice and tall. Let's do it all together in 3, 2, 1. Take your hand to the back of the chair, hold it there. Hand goes on the side of your leg, side of your chair, wherever you can reach, and look behind. And twist it back to the center. Now let's go in the other direction. So the other hand goes back to the back of the chair, hand goes across your body, holding wherever you can reach and looking back behind you. And back to the center. And let's do it again on the other side, holding the back of the chair, twisting round, looking behind you, and back to the center. And again on the other side, holding it here. So this move is really good for when you need to look behind you. Someone calls your name from behind you and you need to turn your head to have a look to see who it is. This is a move that's going to help you with that motion. All right, that's it. Back to the first side. So this is the final time on this side. And back to the center, still sitting up tall. Last one for me. Looking across, looking behind you. And back to the center. Lovely. So now I want us wiggling back in the chair and relax. So the next part of the class we're going to be doing are our strength exercises. So for that you're going to need a resistance band, okay? So just watch me for the first one we're going to do. We're going to sit up nice and tall in our chair, in our working position, with our feet under our knees, not using the back of the chair for support, okay? With the band, there are two options, okay? You can either put it around the back of your chair, or if you haven't got a good back of your chair, put it round the back of your body, okay? Either way, you need it round the back, okay? I'm going to put mine behind my chair. So you're going to have it here and you're going to hold the ends of the band. All right, this exercise is going to work and strengthen our chest, okay? So watch me for this one. I'm going to push forward with the band, hold it here. I then cross my hands over, hold, uncross, and then cross the other way, uncross, take it back and relax. I'm going to show you again at a different angle so you can see better. I'm just going to turn my chair. So you're sitting back but not using the back of the chair for support. The band goes behind you. You hold the ends, you push forward, you cross, uncross, cross, uncross, relax. Okay? Sitting up tall throughout. So we're going to do it all together. So let's get in that working position. Feet under your knees, sitting up nice and tall. So you're not using the back of the chair for support. Now's the time to get the band behind you, whether you're getting it behind your back or behind your chair. It's up to you. It's whichever is comfortable for you. Once you've got your hands in position, we're going to start working. So in 3, 2, 1, push the band forward with nice straight arms, cross it over, one hand on top, and then uncross, cross again with the other hand on top, uncross and relax. Lovely, that's one. We're going to do it 10 times in total. So 3, 2, 1, push forward and cross, uncross, cross, uncross and relax. Nice, let's do it again in 3, 2, 1. Forward, cross, uncross, cross, uncross and relax. Let's check that posture. Make sure we're still sitting up nice and tall. Number 4, let's go. Pushing out and cross, uncross, cross, uncross, relax. Good. And again, pushing forward and cross, uncross and cross, uncross and relax. That's 5. So we're halfway. This move is going to be really good at strengthening those pushing muscles. So this is the one that's going to help you close doors. So let's go again. Forward, cross, cross, uncross, cross, uncross, relax. And again, forward, cross, uncross, cross, uncross, and relax. We've got it 3 more times now. Posture check. Make sure we're still sitting up nice and tall. Push forward and cross, uncross and cross, uncross and relax. Good. And for number 9, let's go forward, cross, uncross, cross, uncross, relax. Final time now. You should be feeling it in that chest and shoulders. Forward, cross, uncross, cross, uncross and relax. Bring that band back round onto your lap. Sit back into your chair and relax. So next we're going to do our second resistant band exercise, and this one is going to be strengthening the outside of your thigh. So you just sit back and relax and watch me. I'm going to take myself forward in the chair. So I'm sitting at the edge of the chair with my feet under my knees and sitting up nice and tall. With the band, I'm going to sling it underneath my legs and then hold the band in the opposite hand so they're crossed over the top of your legs. You're then going to walk your feet to the outside so they're a little bit wider, and then from here you're going to push your knees out wide and then let them come back in. Push your knees wide and back in. Okay, the tighter your band is around your legs, the harder you're going to work. So if it's the first time you're doing this one, maybe take it a little bit easier and see how you get on. And if you're doing it for a few times and you know what you're doing, make the band a bit tighter and work a bit harder. Right, okay, so let's get ourselves in position all together. So sitting up tall, feet under those knees, shuffle yourself forward so that your bum is on the edge of the chair, feet are still under those knees, and you're still sitting up nice and tall. With your band, put it underneath your body, underneath your legs, sorry. And then cross it over the top of your legs and hold it in the opposite hand so there's a cross over your legs. Once you've got that, I want you to walk your feet out so they're a bit wider. Knees are still in, okay, because we're going to be pushing them outwards. So when you're ready, in 3, 2, 1, push your knees out wide as you can, and let them come back in for me. Nice. So that's number 1. Let's do number 2. Push your knees out and hold and back in. Good. And again for me. Push out wide and back in. Let's check that posture. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's do it again for number 4. Pushing it out wide and back in. Lovely. And again, push it out. So this move is going to strengthen up your outside thigh, bringing those knees back in. Good. Number 6, pushing it out. So when we've got a nice strong outside thigh, it helps us when we're sidestepping and back in. So that's things like when we're getting in and out of the bath and you have to swing your leg over. These are these muscles that are going to be used. Posture check, sitting up nice and tall for me. Let's do number 7, pushing out wide. Hold and back in. Good. Number 8, push out wide. Nice strong legs for me. And back in. Good. Just 2 more times now. Pushing it out wide, holding it here, and release. Good. Just 1 more time. Still sitting up tall. Push it out and bring it back in. Slide those feet in a bit closer together. Take the band out and push back into your chair and relax. So the final exercise we're going to be doing for our strength with our resistance bands is going to be one that's going to strengthen your triceps. That's the back of your arm just here. So watch me for the first one. I'm in my working position with my feet under my knees, sitting up tall. I'm going to take myself forward to the front of my chair, so my bum is on the edge, checking my posture with my feet under my knees and sitting up tall. And then with the band, I'm going to hold the ends. I'm then going to lay it onto the floor, stepping my feet into position. Might need a little bit of adjusting, making sure it's even. Holding the ends again, and you're going to hold it like you're holding a shopping bag, okay? And then from here, I'm going to sit up nice and tall, and I'm going to pull the band back as far as I can, trying not to bend my elbows too much, and then bringing it forward. Okay, so let's do all of that together. So let's have our feet under our knees, sitting up tall, and let's bum shuffle to the front, bringing your feet with you. Feet are underneath your knees and you're sitting up nice and tall. So get ready with the band, hold the ends and sling it forward, and then put your feet on top. And just take a little bit of time getting the band in the right position so it's nice and even on both hands. Now, if it's going to be too much with both hands, You can always just hold it in one hand and have it underneath one and do one arm at a time, okay? If you want to make it a bit harder, do two. If you're doing with just one arm, I need you to change sides after 5 reps, but don't worry, I'll remind you. So if you're doing two, you're going to look like me. If you're doing one, you're just going to look like half of me. Right, okay. So sitting up nice and tall with those knees on top of those ankles. In 3, 2, 1. Pull the band back as far as you can for me. Trying not to bend the elbows too much. And release it forward. Lovely. As you come forward, try not to round your back. Still sitting up nice and tall. Let's go for number 2. Pull it back to the back of the chair if you can. Hold it and let it go. Lovely. And let's do it again, pulling it back. So this motion here is going to help you when you're pulling your trousers up or pulling your skirt up. And let's do it again for number 4. Pulling it back as far as you can, holding it here and releasing. Good. It's also going to strengthen up all those muscles that you use when you're carrying things like your shopping and stuff like that. Number 5 for me. Pull it back and hold and release it forward. Now, if you're just doing one arm at a time, I want you to change sides now. So put the band under the other foot and hold it in the other hand. Make sure we check our posture so our feet are underneath our knees and we're still sitting up tall even as we're getting a bit tired. So let's go for number 6 in 3, 2, 1. Pull it back for me as far back as you can. Hold it and release it forward. And let's go again for me. Number 7, pulling it back, pushing the chest forward so you're still sitting up nice and tall and relax. Lovely. Let's do number 8, pulling it back and hold and release. Just 2 more times for me. Pulling it back, hold, forward and release. Just 1 more time and then we're finished with strength. Pulling it back, holding it here and release it forward. Release one side of the band, pick up your feet, bring the band back to your lap and shuffle back into your seat and relax. So the final part of the class we're going to do is our stretch at the end. So we're going to stretch those muscles and help them lengthen a little bit to improve our flexibility and keep us nice and supple. So you stay where you are for now. I'm going to show you the first one. We're going to come forward in our chair, sitting nice and tall with our feet underneath our knees. And then you're going to stick one leg out in front. I'm going to take my slipper off. And then you're going to let your foot be nice and relaxed and your leg. And then if this stretch is enough for you with a nice straight leg and you can feel it working in the back of your thigh, then stay here. But if you would like to work a bit harder, just have your hands on your other leg and lean forward slightly. And then you should get a nice deeper stretch in that leg. So let's get them all together. So I want our feet underneath our knees, sitting up nice and tall so you're not relying on the back of the chair. And let's bum shuffle all the way to the front so that your bum is on the edge of the chair. Check that posture with your feet under your knees, still sitting up nice and tall. Put one leg out in front for me. Make sure that foot's relaxed and that leg is all relaxed here. And again, if you can feel that stretch, then stay here. If you want to work a bit harder, lean forward for me. When we lean forward, try not to round your back. Keep your head up and your chest forward. And then that way you get a nice deep stretch in the back of your thigh. And come up for me. Bring that foot back in. We're going to do the exact same stretch, but on the other side. So slide the foot forward. Make sure it's nice and relaxed. If this is enough, stay here, but otherwise lean forward and get a deeper stretch. With that nice flat back, no rounding. Keep everything nice and straight. And then coming back up and sliding your foot in. So next one we're going to do is we're going to stretch our chest here. So we're going to take the back of the chair with each hand, and I want us to push our chest forward. So let's go all together, pushing your chest forward for me. If you can, squeeze your elbows together behind you, still sitting up nice and tall, and push that chest forward, getting a nice big stretch. And release, lovely. Try not to round afterwards, still sitting up nice and tall. So the next stretch we're going to be doing is going to work our calf muscles. That's the back of your leg just here. Very similar to the one we did for the back of the thigh. We're going to sit in the front of our chair, feet below our knees, sitting up nice and tall. You're going to slide 1 foot forward, and I want you to imagine you've got a piece of string on your big toe. You're going to grab it and pull that big toe towards you, keeping your leg straight. And you should feel it start to stretch your calf. If this is enough for you, stay here. But if you want to take it further, lean forward with a nice straight back. No rounding, keeping it straight. Holding it here, feeling that stretch, that calf muscle lengthen. And coming back up, relax the foot and slide it back to be underneath your knee. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So slide it forward. Imagine that piece of string, hook it round, pull your toes towards you. If this is enough, stay here. Otherwise, leaning forward. Feeling that stretch. So this one is very good to help you get a little bit further to be able to put your socks on in the mornings. Holding it here. And relax it back, relax the foot and slide it towards you. The final stretch we're going to be doing is our up and over. So it's going to be stretching the tricep at the back of the arm and also the side of your body just here. So watch me for the first one. I bring my hand up to touch my shoulder. My other hand supports it and pushes it up to my ear. You hold it here so you can feel the stretch there. You're going to extend your arm into the air and then lean across. When you come back up, make sure you support your arm on the way down. So let's do it all together. Touch your shoulder, other hand supports the elbow, pushes it up towards your ear, and feel the stretch in the back of your arm. If you can't quite feel it, just see if you can push it a little bit further. Once you've got that there, we're going to extend the arm up straight into the air and leaning across. Make sure you keep both bum cheeks on the seat, and that way you're not going to topple over. Feel that stretch in the side of your body here. And then coming back in and support the arm on the way down. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So touching your shoulder, hand supports your elbow, pushing it up into the air, feeling the stretch in the back of your arm, in your tricep there. And once you've got that, you're going to extend your arm up and leaning across. Again, keeping both bum cheeks on that seat. And then that way you won't fall over. And then coming back up and supporting it on the way down. And then when you're ready, I want you to wiggle your bum back and relax. So the final part of our exercise class today is we're going to be strengthening our pelvic floor. The pelvic floor is the band of muscles that go underneath your body that help keep all your insides in, and they stop you from having any little accidents when you don't want to be having them. So when we're doing this, we need to make sure that we've got good posture still. So feet underneath the knees and sitting up nice and tall. So to find these muscles, you need to imagine that you're in the supermarket and you've just started your shopping and you suddenly find that actually you need to go for a wee. But you can't go yet because you're still in the middle of your shopping and you don't know where the toilets are. So you've got to be able to hold it. So find that muscle group that you use to help you hold in your wee. Once you've found them, they're the muscles that we're going to be working today. And when we find them, what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze them. We're going to squeeze them for about 5 to 6 seconds, and then you're going to relax, and then we're going to do it again. And we're going to do it 3 times in total. So make sure we're sitting up nice and tall. Find those muscles that we're going to be working, and no one should know you're doing it because everything else should be nice and relaxed. We're just working those muscles. So we're going to give them a nice long squeeze in 3, 2, 1. So squeeze for me for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Lovely. Let's do it again in 3, 2, 1. Squeeze them for me for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. We're just going to do it one more time. So give them a nice hard squeeze in 3, 2, 1. Squeeze for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. And you can relax back into your chair now because the class is over. Good stuff for today. We'll see you another time.